Welcome to 5 Minutes on Authenticity. Now, authenticity in the workplace sounds pretty incredible. Being able to come to work and being yourself without any worries of repercussions. Unfortunately, the world isn't ready for this level of bliss, no matter how many business articles there are out there on this very trendy subject. So the kind of authenticity we practice here in the LIANZA office is a little different. What we've been able to do in the last year is pretty special. The three of us are very different in our lives and our approaches to work, and yet we work together harmoniously, seamlessly even. So how do we do it? For us, being authentic in our workplace has meant creating meaningful relationships with each other in order to perform better as a team. It does help that we work in an environment where we're not encouraged to check ourselves. We can be who we are within the framework of the office. And sure, we work in an open plan space, which does help to create that intimate setting. But there's a lot to be said about building trust through transparency and disclosure. Of course, we all know there's a fine line between sharing and oversharing, and being authentic is much more than just being brutally honest. So let's take a look at how you can bring your best self to the workplace. When it comes to knowing yourself, it's not as obvious as it may seem. The question isn't so much, do you know yourself, but more, are you aware of yourself? How well you know your strengths and weaknesses does determine how well you perform at work. Being authentic is about bringing the best of yourself to your workplace. So grab a piece of paper and begin with your strengths. Take a look at them. How much of them are you bringing into play at work? Which of the traits do you think could help you achieve more in your day-to-day work life? Then put down a list of your weaknesses. And don't be scared or shy, we've all got them. Take a long, hard look at these. Is there anything here that is getting triggered at work? If so, now you know, which is the first part in challenging any negative behaviours you're bringing into the workplace. So, remember when I said that being authentic means more than just being honest? Well, this is particularly true when it comes to disclosing sensitive and personal information. Sharing personal stories with your workmates is definitely one way to build strong relationships, but it shouldn't be the starting point. Before you start divulging your secrets, you need to spend enough time in your workplace to develop that necessary foundation of trust, and also to identify what your workplace norms are. If you share too much too soon, you can come off looking a little nuts, even in this age of oversharing on social media. So, note how your office mates speak to each other. Do they seem comfortable sharing stories about their personal lives? If so, do join in once you've been there a while. But take a note of what they're disclosing. Is it relevant to the work at hand? Anecdotes that move the team forward are always a good bet, but just make sure the information you're sharing is relevant. Okay, so we're not going to go through all of the ABCs, but here are a few of the best letters that will get you on the road to authenticity. Knowing your strengths, weaknesses, passions and pitfalls is essential to being authentic. It will also help you gauge how people perceive you. Being authentic means being brave. Share your experiences with others. That can put you out on a limb, as you're never quite sure how you'll be perceived. Being brave will give you the confidence to bring the best parts of your private self to the workplace. You can do it. Authenticity is also about living your values, and it does take real courage to stand up to people when you know that they're veering off the path that you think is right. Be curious. Sharing info about yourself is one thing, asking others to share is another. No one likes someone who hogs the conversation, so make sure you're asking your co-workers questions so you can find out as much about them as they know about you. Showing interest in others, genuine interest mind you, will help build those oh so important working relationships. Be genuine. If there's one thing you can't fake, it's authenticity. So understand what your values are, know who you are at your core, and live those in your day-to-day working life. Be kind. Kindness in the workplace helps people to grow. While we all have bad days, weeks, and even months, Being authentic means you shouldn't be taking your bad day out on others. A little bit of kindness goes a long way at home and at work. Be passionate. Be passionate about everything you do. Passion is contagious, and sharing what you're interested in can inspire others to share and potentially join you. Everyone wants a passionate person on their team because they inspire others to do better. Be relaxed. You want to be relaxed enough to be yourself, all the while being aware of what's appropriate to share and how it's appropriate to behave. Be vulnerable. This is essential to your growth as a human being and as a great worker. Sometimes you just have to admit that you don't know the answer or that something's beyond you. Being vulnerable isn't easy, but when you show that side to your co-workers, they will trust you more. Whatever you do, don't be worried. Bring your passions, your side projects, your secret interests, relationships, and those unbeatable strengths to the table. Have the confidence to use the best things about yourself to reach your work goals and to create an excellent work environment. We believe in you.